we're Giant Walker. Thanks so much to everyone for sending your questions about our debut album, which is due to be released tomorrow, the 13th of May 2022. It's called All in Good Time. Make sure you go check it out. Without further ado, let's get into answering your questions.
I think for me, it would be Left to Wreck.
Ooh, curveball. I wasn't expecting that. Is this to play or is this like just
Actually, that's to play, yeah.
Okay, right. Maybe we should answer that twice then. Which one's your favourite to play?
Favourite song to play,
Yeah.
favourite song to listen to.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So your favourite song to play is Left to Wreck.
Yes.
What is your favourite song?
Probably Past the Peak, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, fair. I would say my favourite song would be a toss-up between Coda and probably Optophobia. Two curveballs for you, apparently, with the eyebrow raise. I don't know which one my favourite one to play is, to be fair. Probably one of those two, actually, because they're like not too much of a roast. Fact and Fiction's always a good one to do live as well, actually. So maybe I would say like Optophobia and Coda as songs, and then maybe Fact and Fiction to play, I think, is probably the most like fun.
I would say the favourite one to play live would be Katoomba. And I think favourite track off the album, just how it actually all came together, would probably be either Inertia or Coda, I would say.
Oh, that's interesting. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Two solid choices.
Favourite one to play, and probably falls into one of my favourite songs as well, is the Fact and Fiction, and the other one is Coda.
I think I have to go with the Moon Painter.
Yeah, Fact and Fiction's a good one.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I have to go the album artwork.
Yeah.
Is this just for the singles?
Yeah, it was just for
It's
singles.
just for the singles.
but-
Oh, okay. Probably it's a toss up between Optophobia and the Moon Painter.
yeah.
I like the red, kind of like deserty kind of thing. Looks cool.
I quite like Left to Wreck, but then I also made
Actually.
it. So.
Oh yeah.
Left to Rock one is Left to Rock.
Left to rock. Ooh. We hope. Future things.
Yeah.
I wish.
Sure.
Stevie Wonder.
Irish. No.
Kind of comes across as one though.
It depends.
It
on
has like elements of it, but I definitely wouldn't say like go 100% and be like, yes, it's a concept album.
It has concepts in it.
Yeah.
It's not really, but
A concept.
What's your
concept.
what's your
I was
criteria
gonna
for a
say,
concept album?
I thought a concept album had to be like just
One
a theme,
per- like, yeah, one theme.
kind of overarching
Yeah.
concept.
Almost like a story of like through the album. Yeah.
Which sonically it does, but thematically maybe not.
Big words.
There's your answer.
Yes.
Good
There's
answer.
your answer. Philosophizing.
So that's quite an easy one to just go. It has 9 songs.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it has
Alright,
9.
it does have 9 songs.
Yeah, it's got 9 songs.
No hidden tracks.
No hidden tracks. No
Although
hidden tracks.
bonus points to the person who does find the hidden track.
Yeah.
You get everything we will ever do for free for the rest of your life.
Yeah. I feel like everyone's probably got a
That's
different
definitely
answer
different for everyone.
Yeah.
Weirdly, I feel like for me it was Fact and Fiction. Like
I agree.
Deceptively hard.
That,
Yeah.
I agree. For me, it was the same because it was like
It was the first tune as well.
it was either that or All We Have Is Gone.
Mm.
Because for the guitar players out there, just getting your guitar to like stay in tune for like a long recording session with a tune in that low is just such a pain. So it was more frustrating than anything. It wasn't hard to play. It was just like the guitar let us down a couple of times. And then the Fact and Fiction, like just because I was
Because it was the first song.
some of those recording sessions where you kind of just get in your own head and you're like, I play this a lot now and still can't do it, but I can do it now.
That's the main thing.
Yeah, I can play it now.
What would you say, Fact and Fiction?
I think just making sure it all kind of locked in and grooved when.
Yeah,
When
it's
you
like a
record
bit of swing in it.
Bit of swing.
What was yours?
Inertia was definitely mine, which is quite, I don't know, it's quite surprising. I just basically recorded the whole thing and then came out and listened to it and like, what must have spent like an hour and a half like recording it. Came out, listened to what we had, and I was just like, no, I hate it, and then had to basically start from the beginning again.
Yeah, there's those tracks that you find hardest to do, not because they're hard to play, but because you start overanalyzing everything, which you kind of have to do in the studio, but at the same time, you get too far down the rabbit hole, everything sounds wrong. Like,
Totally.
everything just sounds like it doesn't
And then
fit
it's
or-
just like, nah, just gotta start again with like a fresh mind.
Yeah, fresh ears.
Yeah, so that
about
was
Drummer
definitely
Boy?
mine.
Yeah, I think going back to what Jamie was saying before, definitely like, I think Past the Peak probably the hardest one for me, which is ironically the easiest song to play on a drum kit, but it was just that kind of headspace that you're in, you know.
There's more stuff that you could put in, so
Yeah, it was like you got 1,000,001 ideas, but actually it's more about just sort of taking your foot off the gas and like actually just letting the song kind of breathe and stuff. And I think I broke more sticks on that song, I think, than the rest of the album. I think just because I'd get like halfway through it, and then I'd be like, nope, want to do it again. That was shit. Your shit.
I think it was also, it was like after lunch, wasn't it? It was like, just after lunch we were all just feeling a bit like, oh, and then it was like, oh. It's...
Yeah.
Yeah, the self doubt was pretty crippling on that one, to be honest. Yeah.
Guitar wise, it was actually really simple. It was this thing. You can't probably see it, but it's a Victory Kraken, and there was a Diesel VH4, and they were the only two amps used on that album. So simple as it was, but there was just a lot of different guitars, lots of different kind of layers and textures and stuff that were used.
Yeah.
But it was a jolly old time.
That should have been the album title.
A jolly
Jolly
old
old
time.
time.
Instead
yeah,
of all, should
yeah.
have.
Drum wise, it was, well, like most studio scenarios, it was comprised of different kits.
The Jelly Bean
The
kit.
Jelly Bean kit, yeah. So, if my memory serves us right, it was Mapex Black Panther kick, second rack tom, and floor. But it was a Tama Star Classic first rack tom, and then a mishmash of different Zildjian cymbals. And snare wise, I used World Max hammered brass 14x5, which I used for everything really. But yeah, that was pretty much it drum wise. Yeah, the rig kind of stayed the same once we got all the mics and stuff in place. But drum mics, that's a whole nother episode. Another
You
time.
can't remember
Come back
them,
for
really.
drum.
Yeah, and I also can't remember them, so
Yeah, I have no idea what mic is used for me, so on the bass.
Yeah, what did I use?
Yours.
What was the Diesel?
It was a
Yeah.
so it was an Ampeg, wasn't it?
Ampeg.
So it was
Yes,
Ampeg, like I can't,
Diesel.
what was it? The Ampeg. It's like the Ampeg amp, basically. Don't know what it's called.
that's what it's called.
The Ampeg.
Yeah. And then you use the guitar amp as well.
So guitar amp, use Pro Steel strings for the
Pro Steels,
for the old.
the extra zing.
This is extra zing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interestingly enough, though, you played the album with a pick,
Yes.
where your
My secret.
the secret is out. Where your preference is to play everything with fingering.
Hmm.
You finger everything.
And then I play bass.
That would be the magical Mr. Chris Coulter
Legend.
from Decimal Studios. We love you, Chris.
I feel like there's two hidden questions in there because it's like the actual process of shooting it and then the actual video at the end.
Because which is your favourite video
Yeah.
in relation to how horrible it was to
To
film.
film. Yeah.
The end product's always very different to
the
The
experience?
the actual
Process.
process of doing it.
The reality is, the Past the Peak was probably the easiest to record
Yeah.
to me because it was just
Less.
we-
Well, it was alright for you guys. I was just like in the bath freezing.
but yeah, that is true.
That was
yeah,
pretty
that's true. Okay.
But I still think it was more bearable than the Facts and Fiction.
Yeah.
I think it was because like we're so out of the loop. Like first video, like it literally went like so ham on the first take, and then realised that we literally had like another like 7 hours of trying to like perform.
Imagine
it, like,
rocking out is
10 out of
literally
10
as
level.
hard as you can for like 7 hours straight. So the,
Comes straight
the
out
bang
of
over
lockdown.
was
yeah, it was a solid
hench the
3
next day.
days.
Like it was absolutely appalling. Like
Yeah.
couldn't move my neck for like 3 days.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Coming straight out of lockdown as well, when we've been sitting down for about 2 years.
Yeah, straight into like trying to perform again. Yeah, that was probably the hardest one to record.
Yeah, was that collective Facts and Fiction was
Yeah,
the hardest?
that's
to
probably my
record?
favourite.
Definitely, yeah.
But favourite video?
Yeah.
That's probably my favourite video though.
Oh really?
Yeah, it is.
I would say probably Katoomba's favourite.
Oh yeah,
I think
that's a good one.
just for aesthetics.
See,
It's
I'm
hard
kind
to
of
pick the best
tempted.
video.
I know, like, I think Past the Peak, like, actually, like, it's so, like, different from anything that we've done before, because I've never done, like, a narrative video or anything.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah, I'd say between those two.
The answer to that question is we have,
Previously.
as a group, insert clip. But not as Giant Walker.
Drop the songs below what
Yeah.
you want to see we cover.
Yeah.
and
If
we'll
there's any
see
songs
what
that you
we
like
do.
desperately want to see we play, then you consider it.
Pretend. Yeah. Well, I think that pretty much wraps up the Q&A. Thanks so much again for sending in all of your questions. If you have any further questions, drop them in the comments below and we'll be sure to answer them. And thanks so much for watching. We've been Giant Walker. Don't forget to check out our debut album, All in Good Time, due out tomorrow. Links below.